Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another Breakfast with Blaha. And today, having fat-free Greek yogurt and almond butter. So this one's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. All right, let's talk a little bit about my own training volume in general, and something that we run into as coaches, and I talk to a lot of other coaches, we laugh about this, something that many of us have a tendency to do. That includes even coaches who are in my comments. It's quite a few of them. I've become friends with quite a few of you guys in the comments who are coaches. I know what their names are in the comments. Actually, a lot of national and world-class level lifters. You guys would be surprised who some of these people are down in the comments, and you meet them on other social media and they let you know who they are down there. So with a lot of them, they run into the same problems also of, as coaches, we know what's appropriate. We know what's appropriate. We know what we prescribe to our clients who are paying us for results, and then we go do the opposite. We do it all the time. Not saying on everything. All right, I try to lead by example. I try not to prescribe exercises I've never done. I try to not prescribe progression protocols or programming I haven't done. It is good to have that experience with what you're trying to teach your people. I personally tend to use way more volume than I would ever give to my clients, to the point where I've run into a couple of issues with it. Number one of my clients who loves volume, who I give pretty high volume, like I give him more than most of my people, he's come in and said, "Hey coach," and that would be Justin, by the way, for those of you, some of you know who Justin is. He's got a following. And you've seen me post his videos on my Facebook page, both the public and the private one. Justin will be like, "Coach, you use a lot of volume. You use a lot of volume. It's crazy. How do you recover from that?" And and I'm always like, "Oh yeah, I can recover from it. My lifestyle is perfect. I don't claim to be natty. All right, do these things, and yeah, I can handle it. But can I always? And usually my bench can be a problem from it. Do way too much pressing volume. I have a bad habit of doing that. Incidentally, my bench is my worst lift, and it stays my worst lift. The periods where my bench did its best, what happened? Bench does its best when I've done lower volumes. It starts shooting up. Or the other issue, my kids, "Hey coach, you're not giving me enough volume. Look how much you do. I'm way weaker than you. I'm going to be using a third of the weight you do, half the weight you do. So my volume would be a lot less, my tonnage. Why can't I do the sort of volume you do? And why do I only do 5 sets of dumbbell rows twice a week, and that's my lat work? I do 6 sets of bench on Monday, and the only other chest work I get is a little bit, sometimes some dumbbell work or dips on my overhead press day. I do stuff like that with them. And then they think they need more. Like, how am I going to get big? So it becomes a problem. It becomes a real problem sometimes as a coach, because I'm trying to lead by example. And again, most of my kids will tell me that I'm not trying to question, what you have me do, but you sure use a lot more volume than me. And I'm young and bulking. I should be able to handle as much as you do. And they can't. And quite frankly, at times I can't. And I know that they can't handle it. I mean, we take Justin, for example, and I run him he's probably one of my highest volume clients. We're in that 15 to 20 set per week per muscle group for him. And the guy's jacked, he's strong, he's lean. Again, people who've seen him know. He's the guy who did the Zercher squat in that collage. Right? The guy who did the 455 Zercher off the floor. Even he's going, hey, you do a lot of volume, coach. You do a lot of volume. But in his case, he used to do the type of volumes I do or more. And he stagnated. Right? He was stuck at a 405 bench for years. 405 squat for years. Stuck at a sub 300 bench for years. So on and so forth. Doing 25, 30 sets of muscle group. And he trained that way. And it limited him. He got up to a point, and then he hit a wall and couldn't progress anymore. So I think really the lesson here is something I'm trying to do more of, and I'm sure I will have done it by the time this video comes out. These are something like a month old by the time you guys see them. On average estimate, it could be 2 weeks, it could be 5 weeks, I don't know. It's something like a month, depends on how fast I upload them. But something I need to work on because I know better. And again, it's funny. Coaches do this. We're bad about doing this. We're like sometimes do as I say, not as I do. And we try to lead by example. But the volume is one where that is my personal bad habit of doing something. It's like I can handle it. And I'm scared sometimes to back the volume down. Right, because in my mind, that whole concept of, volume is one of the big drivers of hypertrophy, but it isn't. It is up to a point. But the research shows that beyond a certain threshold, it's not anymore. And I have a bad habit of crossing that threshold by quite a bit. And, so then we see it on certain things, and I can get away with it with certain muscles, right? My quads and my lats can handle a lot of volume. Because my hamstrings can't. My hamstrings cramp super bad, and I have stupidly strong hamstrings. Again, people note that when they see certain exercises. They're not a weak link for me by any means. Neither are quads. My hamstrings can't handle the volume my quads do. My pecs and delts can't handle the volumes that my lats do. Not even close. And we come to that other point, just because some of the muscles can handle it doesn't mean they should handle it. In other words, we need to be in that 10 to 20 sets per week and not exceed the 20. And some muscles don't need to be exceeding 15, even for me. I say a lot of my pressing muscles are up there. They can't handle it. And I stagnate on the lifts involved when I try to do it because they're not growing. Not growing quick enough. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.